Okay, we're back. We've got that broth ready to pour in our pan. Yum. Smell-o-vision. Wish we had it, because ugh, so good. So when I tasted the broth, it needed a little bit more salt. And instead of adding salt, I added a couple of the chicken bouillon cubes. They've got salt in them, and they add good flavor for your broth. So that's just a little tidbit I learned along the way. So now we're gonna bring the pot of broth up to boil. So once that starts boiling, then I'll start adding the noodles. Okay, our broth is boiling. I did add some more broth to this just because I'm making a large pot because this is gonna go to several people. So it's boiling, and here's our noodles that I made earlier, and I'm just gonna start dropping these in. I stir as I'm going along, that way they don't get clumped up or stuck together. Trying to let it stay at a boil. Getting the rest off here. All right, we've got all those added in. Gonna keep stirring that just for a minute and let that come back to a boil. And then we're gonna let this cook. And depending on how thick your noodles are, the time will vary, but we're shooting for about 30 to 40 minutes. When you've got your broth at a boil, if you wanted to add chopped up celery at this point or carrots, you could let them boil for about 15 minutes before you added your noodles. That way they would be done. That's just your preference. Actually, that's how we like it. I just don't have any of that today. And when my kids were small, we left all that out. Now that they're grown, I think they all love it that way. Just make it for your family, according to what you like. Once the noodles come back up to a boil with the noodles in the pan, I go ahead and turn it down. That way it won't boil over because I've got a lot in this pan. So I'm just going to turn my heat down a little bit and let this cook. Okay, so I just checked these noodles and they're done. So I'm going to take that chicken that we did in our other video where we deboned and got our chicken ready for this. You can put as much chicken as you want. I'm probably only going to use half of this and then freeze the other half for some other recipes that we got going on. Yeah, that's going to be, whew, man. Boy, I wish y'all could smell how good this smells and see how rich this broth is. Go ahead and finish putting in all the way till about half, and then I'll keep the rest of that chicken for some other stuff. So, that's after this gets completely done, because you don't need the chicken to cook anymore. So, let me get a scooper. I've got my bowl koozie on here that's made by my good friend Karen, because these bowls get, any kind of bowl with anything hot gets very hot, hard to hold, and I use these all the time for when I microwave stuff. I really don't know what I would do without them anymore. I've gotten so used to having them. Let's give it a taste. It's gonna be hot. That is so good. You gotta make you some of that. Homemade chicken noodle soup. So I'm gonna hold this phone, but I want you to see how rich and delicious that broth looks in this pot of chicken and noodle soup. Oh, so good, you guys. Make you some of that. Surprise your family with that one. Ain't that right, Tammy Lynn? Enjoy.